Already. Good evening, everyone. Well, I thought I'd put this down a little later in the program, but we have 2 awards to give tonight. Unfortunately, Mrs. Carol Ann Furbert is not here. How many people remember Carol Ann Furbert? Minister, you don't remember Carol Ann Furbert? Carol Ann Furbert was a teacher for over 30 years in the government system, and I followed her actually at Warwick Secondary School, where she was a speech and drama teacher. If you were a student of Carol Ann Furbert, put your hand up. Anybody here? Oh, a couple people. All right, all right. Now, Carol Ann has a wonderful history with T.N. Tatem. She taught there for many years. After she taught at the Warwick Camp in 1967, because that's where Warwick School actually began. So she taught there and then went on to what we now know as T.N. Tatem, but it was Warwick Secondary School, right? Carol Ann Furbert then taught at Whitney Institute and throughout the island at various schools, and she returned to Warwick Secondary in the 1970s, where she developed the speech and drama program. Now, she is a founder of this group. If you know this group, raise your hand. We are people too. Yes, I see one of the teachers there. Stand up. This is Miss Gloria Francis. She was a teacher there at Warwick Sec too all those years ago. She's retired and trying to be incognito. Okay, Carol Ann put on wonderful productions for years under We Are People Too, and in August they had an outstanding performance with all of the students that they had rehearsed throughout the summer. And she took some of the students abroad to a Broadway production of The Wiz. And they also presented shows featuring Bermuda's history, improvisation, music, and dance. Unfortunately, she is not here with us tonight, but if we can give a resounding round of applause for Ms. Carol Ann Furbert. This next recipient, now, I date myself because I taught at Francis Patton with her mother, and her mother didn't have any children at that time. So when I found out tonight, I knew this was the person that they were going to honor, but I had no clue that this was the daughter of Lynette George. So when I found that out, and listen, the whole time we were working together, years later when she did have her child, we used to talk about this young lady all the time, especially when she went off to college because she pursued an engineering degree. So of course, I was thrown when I found out that this is not only Lynette George's daughter, but she is also an artist extraordinaire. So I'm going to ask Vanessa Turner to come up to the front. And she has a portfolio with a vast array of works in still life and botanicals and seascapes. So she says, in spite of being an engineer, art remains at the core of her heart and an integral part of her everyday life. She believes that we have the ability to empower others through art, nurture ourselves through art, and evolve our spaces through art. Her work may be found online at vanessaturner.com, so go and look it up, okay? But she has wonderful works. She says, when painting, my artwork goes through numerous stages as it is a build-up in layers. Each layer has a different purpose and presents its own challenge and struggle. The process is interestingly reflective of life's journeys. Now, the committee under Dr. Tully and Mrs. Jennifer DeRosa Holder and their committee picked her. She is a parent, I understand, of Warwick Preschool. All right. And so, Minister, I'm going to ask if you will come and present her with this certificate just as a token of our appreciation for her work, and then we'll ask you if you'd like to say a few words. You say that.
Vanessa? I studied engineering as well, and I know Vanessa. She is a phenomenal structural engineer in her own right, and I'm so happy to see her pursue her art dream as well. Where's your photographer?
Congratulations. Congratulations. We actually have it being videotaped, but if anybody would like a photo op at this moment, This is your opportunity. All right,
You're
thank
gonna say a few
you.
words?
Thank you, Minister. And while I'm here, I understand that Mr. Neville Tyrrell is in the house. MP? Yes? No? Yes? Where is he? Oh, okay. Okay, okay. At this point, I'm going to ask Mr. Ron Pender, who is the Intellectual Properties Manager for the Intellectual Properties Office, and nobody knows what that is at this point. Maybe you don't, which is why he's on the program at this point to say a few words. Mr. Ron Pender.
Good evening. Good evening. It is good to be here. It is good to be alive. And it's good to be living in Bermuda. Am I right about it? Am I right about it? Wonderful. Art is an expression of the creative of human life. So much more than a painting, much more than a sculpture, much more than a dance, much more than a song, art itself is an expression of human life. Now, intellectual property is an expression of the human intellect or the human mind. And one of the fundamental reasons why I'm here is because the government of Bermuda is seeking out opportunities not only to encourage, but also to celebrate our artistic expression and creativity. And intellectual property not only can earn you recognition, but it can also earn you financial gain or financial benefit. So what we're about to see on display here this evening, in the artistic expression of these wonderful young men and young women, if encouraged in the right environment, can not only earn them recognition, but also it can also earn them financial gain. And so it's very, very important that parents understand that the artistic expressions and performances you see here this evening is a part of the educational process and experience of our children. It is not something to take lightly, because if cultivated in the right environment, can bring them recognition and financial gain. So let's just sit back and enjoy this wonderful expression of Bermudan artistic art and creativity. Thank you very much, and God bless you.